Ladies and gents, welcome back to another Engineers podcast. Today I'm joined by Evgeny. Evgeny is the VP of Engineering at Rarible, who are a leading digital assets platform. We've got a pretty decent pod lined up. We've got a couple of topics, and as you know us, a lot of stuff in between that. And we're going to be introing Rarible's offering, and a unique engineering approach, and some of the talking points around shifts from Web2 to Web3, and also building products across many chains. So it's an interesting one, and I think we're talking a lot more about blockchain nowadays on the pod. So it's good to see some big players wanting to come talk to us about some of the cool stuff that we're doing. Today we've got Evgeny. So Evgeny, thanks for joining us, mate. Do you want to give us a bit of an intro into you first and your role at Rarible?
Yep. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Nice to be here. So my story started. My story as an engineer started almost 20 years ago, like 18. Now C++, all this hardcore stuff, assembler. Was programming this microchips. It was fun. I mean, it's cool to know how this thing works, like inside. I don't remember who said that, some like a sci-fi guy, that at some point in humanity the science will be undistinguishable from magic. So it's like, if you know how it works, it's not magic anymore. But still, yeah. Then like a lot of other, from C++ to C# to other stuff. But yeah, then I was probably in Dell Corporation. I started to do management stuff. And you know how it happens. You take good engineers, then you make them bad managers. Not in my case, obviously. Sorry, today I'm a little bit sarcastic, but yeah. So I jumped into this wonderful world of engineering management, then moved to senior management. I was working in one of the leading project management tools, SaaS tools, Rike. Probably, maybe someone knows it. And then for some reason, I don't know, it just was by accident, I jumped into this wonderful world of Web3. So now I'm here, leading engineering in Rarible, and I like it.
I love that. Yeah, you did some pretty awesome stuff at Reich from what I can see, and I know conversations outside of this pod have happened. So good for you. I actually want to touch on that. Your transition from Reich to this wonderful world of Web3. Talk to us about that moment, because a lot of people might be going through a similar experience to that.
That's a really good question, because what I see, it's not a problem. It's just the state how it happens. So Web3 is still some kind of like cool kids club, like a hacker club for people who interested in that. And um, big issue is that not so many people outside of this, like a hacker club, they want to join, because for many people crypto is still kind of like forbidden word. People associate it with scam and other stuff. And what I can say, like there are some in any industry, in AI, there are plenty of things that's happening now, startups raising, and a lot of things happening. So but jumping in, I see how much of the sense in crypto, in NFT space, in all of it, how much sense it is. So for me, it was, I was interested from engineering perspective, because that's the most interesting part in the blockchain technology, in this white paper from Bitcoin, and all of the things that the blockchain can do. Three pillars of the blockchain. Yeah, it's like a privacy, and you own your own data. I believe in all of this. But yeah, so and to me it was just by accident actually, because I was like looking for a new gig, new stuff, and I was doing some interviews with the big tech companies, and it's I was so frustrated with the big tech interviews, like 10 rounds of interviews, like extensive grilling, and it's how it works. And then I was just jumped on interview with the CTO of the company, and it was it clicked. I was like, oh, that's my next company. And what I like about the company and the industry is that in some of the industries, like let's say there are like a fintech or like other industries where it can be a little bit boring, because the whole industry is a bit boring. I don't want to insult anyone, but there are like established um, old industries where technology is everything is already invented. In Web3, it's not like that. New things are happening every day, and in the beginning, it was a bit like a hard to keep up, but now I cannot imagine myself outside of it.
18 months in Web3 completely turned your back on Web2.
um
Just absolutely bashing it now. I'm
yeah, I
joking.
mean, no, I mean, the thing is that, let's say, from engineering perspective, and especially working in the big tech companies, or like let's say I've been working in Dell Corporation 5 years. It's like everything is already invented, everything is settled, processes and everything. You just follow the rules, and not much to say, like even in more innovative and more like a fresh stuff, it's still the same thing. I would say now only two areas, like on the on the edge of the tech, is AI and crypto, because yeah, a lot of stuff happening probably in health tech, in ed tech, but still probably not comparable to AI and Web3.
No, I'd have to agree. I I do want to talk to you and ask you questions around differences between Web2 engineering and differences between Web3 engineering. So get those cogs turning at some point over the next couple of minutes. But let's introduce Rarible. Talk to us about Rarible, the business, and what's the offering. Almost like your sales pitch or your elevator pitch. How would you describe Rarible and what you guys do?
Yeah. So first of all, Rarible was the first in the NFT market space. So it was first marketplace. So many people know Rarible because Rarible was the first thing they saw in NFT space, and yeah, and now we continue in this journey. So now we have three main arms, or like a buckets of business, and that's our marketing advantage, because we have all of it. We have all three. So first of all, as probably, if, again, I'm talking from engineering perspective because I'm not a salesperson, but working with blockchain is hard, per se, because it's a bit too low level. So you need some provider to work with blockchain and blockchains, because each blockchain is a little bit different. So yeah, first thing that we do is API level. So we have indexers. It's pretty complicated tech. So because basically, like a blockchain is a blocks of information, so you need to index it to store it, and the crucial part of it is a delay. Um, the time between, so blockchain emitted a block, and you want to see this information immediately, and that's the biggest, I would say, issue and biggest thing that messes the mass adoption of blockchains, is that in Web2, if you make a transaction on your bank account, now it can happen immediately, like with a snap of a finger. With the blockchain, especially like old blockchains like a Bitcoin, it's not like that. It can be minutes, even hours, right? So, and it messes up the user experience. So you click in something and then you see the like a spinner. So yeah, so the first arm for us is the API. It's accessible. Anyone can touch it. Anyone can try it. You can get a free API key. So that's the first and the most technologically advanced part of Rarible. And the other two is B2C and B2B. So B2C is Rarible.com. Again, for many people, it was their first website they visited to do anything with NFTs. So it's a marketplace of NFTs. We aggregate orders from all other marketplaces. We have orders, we have cool jobs, and I would say the coolest thing for me, like besides of the engineering stuff, is the we we work with artists a lot. So it's not only about tech and other stuff. And for people who is not in NFT space, for people, if they hear oh, NFT is just picture of monkey or $10,000 or something, it's actually not like that. We have several really cool stories. I remember recently we had a job with artist, a single mom from US, and she sold her artwork for like hundreds of thousands of dollars or something like this. And she was super happy because she, as an artist, it's extremely hard these days to sell anything. You need to, the same with like a music or anything. If you're an artist, to be connected with your audience and get some like monetization, it's complicated. So with this, you can be connected to your audience immediately. So like with the click of a button, and that's one of the coolest thing. And it's not engineering, it's just, it's like art space is really cool. And the last one is B2B. Arm is the so there are a lot of brands which are they want to jump into Web3 because probably the time of the physical stuff is passing by. The kids these days, they not buying the physical stuff because why? You have everything in your phone. And for example, Mattel, they own Barbie and Hot Wheels. We providing them services, and for Web3, for example, the Hot Wheels collection is we're helping them to go to market for Web3 space. And that's super cool because you can get your collection of your Hot Wheels, or there are plenty of other cool big brands we're working with. So that's the third one. So combining all of this, Rarible is in the unique position because we work with all three kind of audiences. We have B2C customers who can buy or do anything with NFTs. We have developers who can hack their new project, and businesses who want to like widen the audience and they want to jump into this wonderful world of Web3.
I do want to ask you, how far away do you think we are from mass adoption of Web3 using blockchains? Is it a generational thing? Is this a technological advancement thing, as in us ourselves as consumers, let's say, we don't understand it, therefore we don't use it? In your own opinion, what do you think it is? How far do you think we are away from it?
I would say it's already kind of there because for example, DeFi, yeah, the cryptocurrencies, the most like with the Bitcoin ETF, it opened the world for like a mass adoption of Bitcoin, and we see how price goes up. So I would say for mass adoption, you need three main pillars, three main things. First of all, it's tech, which is close to the people, because yeah, not all of the people, even not the majority of the people, are hackers, right? They can press a few buttons, but it's a bit too complicated, the wallets and everything. And we see how more traditional fintech services is kind of adopting it. I don't know, like some of the new banks, they introduce crypto wallets, so not the most traditional ones and not on the in the all of the countries, but slowly you can click one button. So in my phone I can click one button and buy Bitcoin using my salary, my just fiat money. So that's first is kind of slowly adopting, but I think we eventually will be there. So there's the same thing as the first internet or first forums or anything. To create account, you have to create email. To create email, you have to know where to go to create email. So it was a bit complicated. Now, yeah. So second one is why. So why people should use it, why they should go to this crypto stuff. So I would say two main, the most understandable things for normal people is finance. You buying something, you see the result, and you can send this money abroad. So that's one of the pillars of crypto, is the like a the mass, so no borders for that. Of course, it's all goes with the big like asterisk, and like, hey, we don't want to promote any illegal stuff, but still, it kind of opens the borders, and it helps people to be connected. So, and the second use case is NFTs, because that's the thing you can understand. And NFTs, it's not just the pictures, it can be music. We're working with some of the like big brands on the like a musical area. We worked with for example some football clubs, because all of the collectibles, we already have them. And it's not only about the collecting stuff, it's also about the connecting with artists. It can be videos. I don't know, Drake or Justin Bieber can drop a new track in as NFT, because NFT, it doesn't mean that it's only a picture. So that's the like art, and I know of a couple of the like good examples of it. For example, one of the companies, one of the startups, what they do, they sell shares in the rent property with the blockchain. So let's say if you have an apartment and you want to share it, but someone else have some insights that this particular week of the year, I don't know, maybe there is a big football championship or something, so you can buy it, then you can resell it, the share of it, and then more and more and more. And with the traditional stuff, it's a bit complicated. You need to build a service or something. And with the blockchain NFTs, it's already there. Some of the companies, the loyalty programs, I know that some of the airline companies, they do loyalty programs. Big problem with the like carriers, with the airplane industry, is that you have a loyalty card in one, but it's like to have it accepted in the other company, it's complicated. With the blockchain, everything is there. You can get your miles as NFTs or something like this, and any company in the world can check it, because it's already there. You don't have to create a web server, whatever. So that's the two pillars. And the third one, I would say, it's the more of a generational thing, I would say. Exactly, because probably like looking at the so I have a nephew, and it's like he's 11 years old, and I understand that like I'm close to 40 now, and I don't always understand his memes and like things he's looking. But yeah, I'm not saying that crypto is for younger generation, but it's definitely for people who get all of these values, like privacy, borders, you own your data. Some people don't care that much. They even store, maybe they store money as a cash. Okay.
Def- Definitely. There's a couple of things that you've said there. I've really recently been speaking to a company called Sling Money, and they said something really similar. They're they're building a platform on blockchain technology, international money transfers, and it's all about creating a really good user experience and customer journey. And you touched on your second use case of almost like your single source of truth or your one platform, and how it actually starts to negate the point, if you like, of actually having a loyalty program with one of the airline carriers. Then you'd have to have a different one with a different airline carrier. you have that one single source of truth or that platform. I don't profess to know everything about the blockchain, but seemingly there's more and more use cases being built for it, for being that single source of truth, and being able to build businesses, leverage value from that. But I think you're right. The customer journey, user journey, and user experience that Sling have also focused on, seemingly Rarible have focused on, and making it really easy and accessible for people to use a platform on the blockchain has to be the way to go for mass adoption. Otherwise, like anything, we just won't be able to get there if you don't make it easy for people to do it, right?
Exactly. Well, I think the segmentation um, will be always there. Same with the internet, right? There are people more advanced in tech. They probably have, I don't know, myself and my grandma. We have different phone, different applications on my phone, right? So it's already happening, and same will happen with crypto and blockchain. So this mass adoption would mean that some of the parts will be more simpler, more user friendly, like probably one button, you press it and you're done. Some of them will be stay because the sentiment I see the sentiment in some of the folks in crypto is that, hey, get off of our like a private space. It's for cool kids. It's for hackers. We don't want people to be here. But it's without mass adoption, it still will be niche tech with nobody would support. And I don't know if you want to work there, you will not get any money because obviously it doesn't work like that. So I would say it will be eventually like a internet. It will be eventually distributed across people, and it will be just commodity.
Yeah. Give us a bit of an overarching view from your position of what engineering inside of Rarible looks like.
So I would say that engineering is always engineering, so it doesn't matter what you do, it's still you need to deliver a product. You magically cannot convert like your brain waves to code, so you have to code, you have to have a pull requests, reviews, and everything. So that's the same normal engineers that's happening everywhere. I would say in crypto in general, in web3 in general, the people tend to be more of a, let's say, a full stack ish, because many things are happening. You need to fix stuff that may be beyond your knowledge, beyond your experience. I don't know, let's say there is a smart contract written in Rust. It's your first time you touching Rust, doesn't matter. So it's more about engineering excellence, and that's I like. So we have folks who is definitely can jump into a problem and solve problem without like saying, oh, I don't know, I'm Java developer, I don't know how to fix this. Because it's at the end of the day, it's the bright mindset. And the second is, I would say, is that like a being in the I put this in quotes, but in non-traditional business, it means that you have to be passionate about it. So I see pretty on the interviews, I see pretty professional folks, let's say backend engineers with big portfolio, good portfolio, who's like, no, I think it's not for me. Okay, like I can try to convince you, but still, if you are here, and the same happens in many other industries. Let's say if you're staying in like AI, it means that you like AI. In some of the more traditional areas, again, like fintech and others, you can be okay. I'm just engineer 9 to 5. I'm just pressing the buttons and that's it. In this like a high, I would call them high passionate industries. If you don't like it, or you don't get the core ideas, you don't get the core values, you can find other job more easily and less hassle.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Talk to us about some of the differences from Web 2 to Web 3. We've spoken about them, or some of them, in a bit of a roundabout way. You've emphasized there's that real focus on quality, almost like a product engineering mindset. That can differ, I think, from Web 2. But if you just had to separate the two sides, just like a clear delineation, what would you say are some real standout differences that you see working in the Web3 space from Web 2?
So I would say I will rant a little bit about the Web3, but and you said the word quality. Unfortunately, quality so Web3 is pretty young industry, right? So we have so I'm like I'm a front end engineer per se. So I was working in the front end for many years, and I remember these days where now it's not like that, but when the new frameworks were happening every day, so it was changing rapidly. So same happens with the Web3. So the engineering pace, new stuff, new chains, new wallets, new standards. They just every day something happens, and it means that quality of it's maybe not the best. So the thing is that, let's say if we again talk about fintech, right? So if you're using some tool, 20 years old Java library, you know that this thing works, and it's probably tested back and forth from beginning to end 50,000 times. You use this Linux distributive, it works fine. But because all of the stuff is created by passionate people, but not always highly professional people. So it means the whole industry as like a big piece. If you imagine a house built on top of the other house, on top of the other building, and it's a bit shaky. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. So bad thing is that obviously some of the libraries not polished enough, some of the tools are not polished enough documentation. Usually it's like Discord. uh, but on the other hand, it's a space for creating something new, and that's same happens with the startups, right? So in the just try to create a startup in health, right? It's regulate. I mean, it's regulated for a reason. Yeah, but the innovation is not so easy to do in Web3. So I would say, so so wrapping up, the quality is not so good, and you have to deal with it. So you have to think double to make it this thing work, and you have to be proactive, reaching out, because maybe the tool you use is not documented enough. So that's the one pillar. And the second pillar, on the other hand, is that it's like a blue sea of the possibilities. You can do many stuff. You can invent. And I know a lot of people who is just was a hacker straight from the university or even at school, doing some stuff in their bedroom. Now they got a lot of money, really successful startups, because the area is super fresh. So you can like it, you can like dislike it, but it is what it is.
Okay, I love that. One of the things we did want to talk about was what are the challenges that come with building on many different chains, whether that's communication between each chain, assets on each chain. So, probably back to our privacy conversation, what are the challenges that come with that?
Yeah. So first of all, like there is a clear distinction between like EVM compatible chains, which is a standard. I mean, so they kind of all the same, but not the same, but still it's easier. And the second group is non-standard, non-EVM chains, who are they can be super cool. So recently we launched the Aptos chain, which is completely not EVM chain, and that's a big challenge because um, all of the patterns they different for a reason, because there are like different architectures, different speed, quality, privacy, and all of these decisions. So now again, there is no clear the standard. Of course, the EVM chains and then like Ethereum based chains, there are like maybe thousands of them, but they're not ideal, and we can just adapt on that. So like a challenge is, first of all, is that not all of the chains they are ready. So let's say if you're working with some like a prospective new chain, they maybe don't have testnet, even they don't have bridge, so you cannot get assets. So, and the documentation can be a little bit there can be lack of documentation. So yeah, and if this chain was hacked, and it's not EVM chain, hacked in the sense of just passionate people doing this. Sometimes passionate people not writing documentation because they're writing code. What's the point of writing the documentation if you can read the code, right? So it can be pretty challenging. What else? Also, yeah, the nodes. They usually also a big thing, because not all of the nodes working correctly. So for non-crypto people, so the whole blockchain works like you have a lot of nodes where you get this information. Nodes are syncing between each other, so that's how we have the distribution of it. But node is also not a standard thing. On one chain, node can work perfectly, and you don't have to have any maintenance. And on the other chain, it's always some like issues or whatever. So that's why we have so many like node providers. They remove this hassle from you.
Interesting. Okay. Do you think standards, technological standards, will come to the blockchain?
I would say yes, like because now, for example, we see how it's easier to create layer two chains. So it's a chain on top of a chain. L3 chain. We also have a L3 chain, a Rari chain. So it's easier. So now we have a cool tech to create it. And what does it mean? It means that now it's a good time to invent, and probably people think, I think it maybe will be 2025, 2026. Only good chains in the sense of the quality of the chain, like if the chain, so people creating chains for a reason, it should help people somehow, or it should solve some problems. So I think eventually chains that were created for no reason, or maybe for something that nobody knows, or chains that are not competing with others, I think they will eventually will die, and we will, it's like it's a free market. It's the it's the most free market of all of the markets. So I think like we will see how big players will survive, and we see already that there are, because people can vote with their money. If you see like on the market cap for a token, for a chain, you can clearly see where people put their money. So now it's a bit a wild west, because more new stuff is happening, and it's cool. I like it. So there are no like a one big regulation department who says, okay, this thing would work, this wouldn't. We see that it's pure market.
Yeah. You strike me as a guy that likes that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I bet. Um, if you're a business in Web2 and you wanted to explore moving into Web3, finding a blockchain use case, how would you go about doing that?
So I would say, first of all, you definitely need like a partner or someone who knows how it works. So the issue is that it's not the issue, but as I said, crypto and Web3 world, it can, from outside it can look like a cool kids club. So you definitely need someone who knows how it works. You definitely need someone who can like guide you through. So it's the first. I mean, it's probably true for everything. You need to have a good partner or good vendor or someone who will guide you through, because there are plenty of unknown stuff. So I would begin with just touching it and trying it yourself. So if you're a traditional business and you want to jump in, you want to like explore, I would probably start with just going to some meetup. Like this most stupid idea. Go to meetup. It's the crypto communities are in every city. I live in Lisbon. Lisbon is like a crypto capital of Europe because there are like thousands of companies here. So you can go to meetup and just talk to people, get some network, and get some partners, and then you can think. So I would start with that. And the second thing is that you need use case, because I see same happens with AI, right? We'll create sausages with AI or whatever, some ridiculous stuff you can, or I don't know, we have some spoon with AI or some device with AI. I saw the like a spoon which like do some electrical impulses and make food taste better, and some other stuff, whatever. So yeah, so same with the blockchain. Some of the folks saying, okay, we're doing something, and we want to move the dating up, and we want to move to this to blockchain. Like, why? I mean, what problem we're trying to solve? I would start with this too. So getting like a I'm not saying you have to always find like a big company and pay thousands of dollars for consultations, but still, just go and know some person who can answer your questions, or like
Spot on.
explore it yourself.
Yeah, ensure it's a proper business case. Seek out expertise, is what I'm understanding from you. Go straight to source on people who know their shit on this stuff. Don't try and hack around it yourself. Often seen as a cool kids club. Go and talk to the cool kids and see how to figure this stuff out.
Exactly, and the big problem and big issue here, because and like again, I'm talking about engineering, is that there are people with good experience who is in the engineering, let's say for 20 years, or I don't know, a big amount of time, but they not interested in crypto. And there are people fresh from school, university, or just jumping in, and they hacking their way through the blockchain. And the big issue, so if you go to the first people, or you're trying to hire these people, they're not interested that much. So they will be probably not following the newest trends. They would be trying to, everything is a nail if you have only a hammer in your hand. Same with that. But the other group of people, they definitely staying up to date with current tech. They staying up to date with the newest, freshest thing. But maybe they don't have like engineering excellence to build, to make a robust thing. And that's probably why we have the like a not so good quality in there is a problem. So if you find someone who is really passionate about the industry, and who is staying up to date, who is following all of the new stuff, and at the same time can prove that they can build with a good quality, that's a unicorn. It's just,
Love it. Okay.
yes.
But what advice, aside from passion, would you give to someone who wants to make that transition from Web 2 to Web 3, like you did? But what would that specific, tangible advice be on you should go and look at XYZ, or you should go and be ABC for 6 months, 12 months? Like, what are real good takeaways that people can actually get from you to make that transition, aside from passion?
Yeah, first of all, try it yourself. It's not gonna work if you, let's say, if you want to jump into the new. Well, it works not only with Web3 or like crypto or AI. If you work for, well, no, actually, I
Yeah,
read
if
back.
you want it, go get it yourself,
Yes,
right?
yes.
As in, go try it first. Don't wait for someone to give you an opportunity for you to try it. Go do it yourself. You've got access to it.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, yeah, what I wanted to say is that maybe in some other areas and tech areas, if you're building microservice in Java or something like this, it will stay the same. in many industries. But in, let's say again, in the blockchain and crypto, without touching it yourself, you will still be trying to use the hammer instead of the proper tool. So yeah, first of all, touch it yourself. If you are engineer, just just go and try to do the first thing that everybody does is the trading bot. I mean, that's the not the easiest thing, but it's and at the end of the day, after, let's say, a couple of months of development, this bot can give you some money, or you can lose some money. Both of it is a good motivation to continue learning, right? So if you are not engineer and you wanna jump in, just try it yourself, because AI and the crypto and the Web3 doesn't work without use case. So for everything there is a use case, there is like a purpose. If you want to jump into NFT, just try to buy your first picture, try to sell it, try to look what's cool for you and not. And one advice is that in the beginning, at least, try to not follow all of the trends, because there are thousands of trends. There are thousands of like influencers, Twitter communities and everything, because you will be lost because there are a lot of things happening. So just try to I don't know, again, if we're talking about NFTs, try to buy something that you like. Try to maybe look at the websites, look at the communities that you like, and try to do a small step in the beginning, and then after that you can subscribe to thousands of accounts and follow all of this.
Love that.
Yeah,
No, good bit of advice, and probably something that I imagine you'd recommend and touch on is go to a networking event, the meetups, meet people in person, like build authentic relationships, use your own personal bullshit detector as well. You don't have to just look at everything on X and digest it and have that battle of 50 different sources of information.
exactly. I have
Um,
I have it's kind of connected, but I love this story. It's about our sales, Jose. Hi, Jose. I don't know if you. So
yeah,
I just really like this story, and it's a good example how to, if you want to do something, you need to know the people. So Jose was telling a story how he jumped into like tech sales, so in the BD. So he lives in the San Francisco area. So he just got to Uber, and not for a purpose of get some money, but because in this highly tech area, I don't know, probably every client you have as a Uber driver is a tech. So you can drive and you can ask, hey, what do you do, what's the company, what the company does, and do you need like a sales, do you need BD? So that's the like interesting way how to build how to get into the community, and I really like it. So eventually he got like a CEO of some company, and he got a job. And I don't know, for me it's like so fascinating to see. And the same you can do with crypto, if or blockchain, if you're interested. Just go to events. There are again thousands of events every day. They're going to be big events in Singapore and in the Thailand. Just go there. So every person there will be passionate. You can go networking, and that's the easiest ticket to the industry.
exactly. I love that story as well. Okay, let's talk about next 12 months for Rarible. Sum up in a couple of minutes the direction that you guys are going. Tell the audience about where they will see Rarible in the next 12 months, or should see Rarible in the next 12 months.
So we will continue what we're doing, because the the whole package that we provide is not all of the some of the companies, they can do, let's say, B2C products, but they don't have the strong tech behind it. Some of the companies, they do super cool tech, but they don't have much of a like a B2C. We have all of it, so we will continue all three of it. We will continue to improve our protocol, to have more chains, to better delays, to like a faster infrastructure, and a better documentation for B2C arm, B2C bucket. You definitely will see new like .com features speeding up, having new chains available. And now we already have some chains that are not happening everywhere, so you can buy stuff only on Rarible.com, and it's really cool. And the last one is, again, I would say now we are in the position where we have the connection to Web2, and there's like a Mattel brand and others. They opening doors for others. And well, it may be a little bit, pretentious to say that we making Web3 better because we bringing more native people to the space, but it is. So we had really good examples how people just interested in the Mattel brand and the Hot Wheels, they be like, okay, wow, cool. I can buy a picture. We can call it like a collectible. I can buy a picture. I can buy several of them. I can have my portfolio, and it's part because it's like on my wallet. I can see it everywhere. I can see it not only inside the like a private ecosystem, which is cool. And what else? What else I can do? Oh wow, this is cool stuff. I don't know. We have McFarlane, and that's really cool. So I love to see more like brands, and of course it's a bit under the NDA, but we have really good partnerships with some like everybody knows about them, everybody like in the world, which is cool. So I hope next year we will see how this like a Web 2 and Web 3 eventually will come into the just the web, right? And of course it's like combined efforts for everybody in the space. It's combined efforts from our partners, ourselves, like normal users. But yeah, I think eventually, like now we don't say like call me in some like a cell phone ish whatever. It's transparent for you,
Yeah,
or
nice.
send me money. Same would happen with Web3.
Love that. A merge of the webs, doubling down on internal technology, i.e., infrastructure, building better chains, building better tools, just an upgrade, essentially, is what I hear from you guys. I want to say a big thanks for coming to join us. You've definitely been a unique character. It's been a really good deep dive into the blockchain world. We've touched on a number of subjects, but I think it's great to learn a little bit more about the challenges, but also the pluses and where the world's going to be moving. I think we've got so much traction that the world is moving there. Some people would argue has moved there. We're just waiting for everyone to catch up, but thanks for coming to join us to talk a little bit about your story, your transition. You're definitely converted, I can tell. You've got a smile on your face as well.
They convinced me.
Yeah, I can tell. So a massive thanks from me, Enginears, Artifeks, and for people listening. You're all important. Likes, shares, subscribes is what keeps this mini ecosystem going round and round. So continue to do that. Evgeny, big thanks.
It was a great pleasure, of course, talking about things that I like and I'm passionate about. And yeah, stay subscribed, press the like, all of the influencers, they should say that. Yeah.
Love that. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey guys, thanks for watching this episode. Massively appreciate you listening and checking in with us. If you want to find out more about us and what we're doing, please check us out on social media. What we're trying to do at Enginears is build a community to drive knowledge sharing and experiences. On Twitter, we can be found Enginears.io. It's no_. We've also got a website, which is enginears.io. These links will all be posted in the description. Any feedback and comments are massively appreciated. We're always looking to improve on where we can. Thanks, guys.